Let's say you're planning a trip to Southeast Asia and every destination seems great. The truth is though, there are big differences, and today we're talking Bali or the Philippines. And while I obviously recommend going to both places, time is often limited, so let's see where the differences lie.
There's a universe inside you. You should never have to hide. I can see the stars inside you. Please just open up your eyes. There's a universe inside you. There's a universe inside you.
And with that, welcome to today's video. My name is Danny, and here we talk about travel, health, and mindset. And yeah, you know already what it's all about. Bali versus the Philippines. But before we're gonna get into it, I wanna talk about my intention with this video, because on the last video, Thailand versus the Philippines, it got a lot of feedback, a lot of people watched it, a lot of people enjoyed it. But some were saying like, hey, yo, dude, why are you comparing countries? It's about where do you want to go and what suits you, what are the differences, and when comparing travel destinations, when I've been planning my big trip of the last year, that's what we're gonna cover today. We're gonna do it in 5 points. Number one, this time differently, is gonna be beaches. What I can say is they're super different. On Bali, it's a volcano island, so because of that, a lot of the beaches, they don't have white sand, they have kind of like brown, yellowish. Bali is known for its surfers community. It's absolutely amazing. The people there are loving it. They have surf shops everywhere. So if you're into surfing, Bali is probably one of the best places in Southeast Asia. And even though in the Philippines they do have some areas, I heard Siargao, where they do surfing as well, Bali is like a surfer's island. In the Philippines, on the contrary, I've seen some of the bluest waters in all of Southeast Asia. Absolutely crazy, different shades of blue. You had the clear waters with like a slight blue, but then with the deeper waters, when you were kind of like going out with the boat, sometimes you felt like you have a saturation filter on your eyes. I've never seen something like that before, and when I've been watching kind of like the travel vlogs from people going to the Philippines, I've been thinking like, oh yeah, you bumped up the saturation and the color correction all the way. These types of blue shades of blue waters with clean, super white sand. But in the Philippines, just driving around the islands, very often you had beaches that they were flawless, absolutely all to yourself. Because there are just not that many tourists as in Bali. We're gonna get to that in just a second as well. But that does not mean you cannot get it in Bali. Outside of it, you have other islands, for example, the Gili Islands, or where I've been on, Nusa Penida. Whoa, and this place, man, this is definitely one of the most amazing places that I've ever been to. This is the Klingking Beach, and those are just the moments where you're in the loss of words and you cannot grasp of how massive and powerful nature can be. And also all the beaches there, they had Crystal Beach, I believe was the name. Super blue waters. This is just like a 1-hour boat ride from Bali. You can do a day trip there, you can actually stay on the island. It's a lot more developed than videos from 1 year ago say. The development there has been huge, and there also has been actually a lot of people. Number two is going to be the infrastructure, the overall development, and there you can say Bali just surprised me so much. They have pretty much highways going through the island. It's so busy. I had some of the busiest traffic there. And with that, you also have very developed parts of the island, like for example Seminyak, but also something a little bit more laid back. We stayed also in Canggu. I like that personally a lot more than Seminyak. A lot of people like Ubud. It's also very developed, but still it's known for kind of like a chill vibe. There you have, for example, the monkey sanctuary. At first I didn't really think it would be something that I would like, but it was a really cool experience to have a monkey on your shoulder. Something comparable to it when I think of the Philippines would be the Tarsier sanctuary. Those are the smallest monkeys in the world. And also a very big scene in Bali is just the villas. You have villas everywhere you can, and it's actually not that expensive expensive, relatively speaking. A lot of people are getting together, 5, 6, 7 people. They're renting out the villa together for everyone like 10, 15 bucks a night. So there are a lot of great offers, and this is why a lot of people come to Bali, to have a private villa. We had a small villa, it's kind of like a big room with the pool. Was definitely a cool experience, and this is what Bali stands for in a lot of ways. While in the Philippines, they obviously also do have bigger houses that you can rent out. They do have huge hotels, but it's not that much of a scene. It's not really like also like just the type of architecture that they have in Bali with their houses. It's very unique. It's while still in the Philippines, you can get great accommodation, but just the development level and also the tourism level is a lot lower. So if you're someone who enjoys to have places a little bit maybe more for yourself, and Philippines might suit you personally a little bit better. Number 3, let's tackle the topic of culture real quick. So in the Philippines, they have Christianity. The people are speaking English, so that's a huge factor if you actually just want to go out, you want to drive out somewhere, and you're gonna have no problems getting by. The people are very hospitable and friendly actually, so just to be able to communicate is something very big and can add to an experience. In Bali, for the most part, they have a Balinese Hinduism, and the people mostly don't speak English. Number 4 would be prices overall, because Bali is so developed, the tourism is so high. Going out, having a few drinks, restaurant can cost you almost as much as in Western countries. Still, I would say like 20-30% less, but it's a lot more than in other Southeast Asian countries like Philippines, like for example Thailand. And especially if you go to the more trendy, the more popular bars. But if you're gonna go to a local place where they serve local food like the nasi goreng, there you're gonna have actually pretty decent prices. We got a meal, I believe, for like $4, maybe $5, so that's a really good deal. In the Philippines, alcohol and going out, just because there are few areas that are set up only for tourism, in some places you can actually get the local price, which is gonna be very inexpensive. Supermarkets, I would say, are also less expensive. While I do have to add that in Bali we have been eating all the time local fruits, which have been very, yeah, they were a pretty good deal. Overall, it's obvious if you like to go out and like to go to a restaurant, and you would do it in both places. Philippines is going to be a lot cheaper also in the big cities. We have been going to a really nice restaurant, and to get the same thing in Bali would cost, I would say, double, maybe even more. But when it comes to just local food, I would say Bali is a little bit more expensive, maybe like 20%. Last point is just going to be tourism overall. What type of tourism is going on? How is the vibe? And in Bali, you can say there are a lot of Western people. A lot of people are actually staying there permanently. A lot of digital nomads, just people running their business from there. Also, as you probably know, a lot of social media people spend a lot of time in Bali. In the Philippines, on the contrary, there is on the one side a lot of less tourism, but also the people that are coming there, I would say it's more of a backpacker style, more of adventure travelers. In Bali, there is a big kind of, you could call it, healthy scene. A lot of people are into yoga, they have vegan places. While in the Philippines, it's nowhere on that level. It's just different. You have local people doing their local things, and there you can experience that. Conclusion is just the places are different. They're both amazing. I would recommend absolutely traveling to both places, but they are different in a sense. The type of beaches are different, and just the whole vacationing culture, the culture of people who are staying there, the local people. So you just have to see what sounds more appealing to you and make your decision. I definitely can see myself in the future in both places, already planning my next trip to the Philippines. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you watched all the way until the end, I've been doing that quite a few times in the last few videos, and I've been overwhelmed by how many people actually put it down in the comments. My hashtag #GottaWorld to see. Join the squad. I'm gonna make sure to answer everyone who puts the hashtag #GottaWorld to see. I read through all the comments. Smash the thumbs up button, help this channel out to grow. I don't know why I'm still talking here. However, see you in the next one.